Okay, babies, we are going to French 3 and 4. For French 3, this might be pretty new. For French 4, it's hopefully a really good review. We also reviewed the passé composé, and as you all know, it is these two verb tenses are used very much together. We're going to see what we can get through in 5 minutes in the basic formation of the imparfait. And right now, we're going to use the imparfait to talk about what we used to do in our childhood. We want to talk about our childhood. So this would be what was normal for our childhood, not a one-time event. We're going to talk about like when I was, 5, I would only eat peanut butter. Or, when I was a kid, I used to always watch Sesame Street, those kinds of things. Okay. So you want to be able to conjugate these verbs. This is a PowerPoint I've borrowed, and they've put it into categories of understanding that if you are at the lower level, you can definitely do it for sure, which is definitely where you want to be for sure. Because remember, in our class, we talk so much about how much it's important to be able to talk about ourselves. If you are at the silver level, you can for sure conjugate it in all of its forms. So for all of the subject pronouns. And if you're gold, you can actually work out both the passé composé and the imparfait together. But we're going to start today with the building of the tense. So don't worry about the page number. You don't have that, but we want to be able to talk about what happened in the past. And you'll notice that they're talking about that in this passage, they clearly read something about it snowed. And that's a weather pattern. Okay. I was swimming in the ocean, or I swam in the ocean. This is an idea that, again, in my past, maybe I lived at the ocean, or maybe every summer we went. And je mangeais pendant 2 heures. That's over a period of time that we did something while other things were happening. But again, we're going to focus on what we did in the past. Okay. So what you do to conjugate this verb, it is not difficult. Okay. But it does require that you know how to conjugate your verbs, which is why we started in the beginning with how to conjugate those irregular verbs particularly. But you also obviously need to know how to do ER, IR, and RE verbs. So here we have the verb, 3 verbs. All of them are that category. The first one is an ER, habiter. The second one is an IR, finir. And the last one is an RE, perdre. We had to find the new form. And once we found the new form, we took off the ONS. Okay. Once we take off the ONS, we've got our root or stem. Okay. So this is a similar process to when we regularly conjugated in the present, but this time we're conjugating for the imparfait. Once we find our stem, we're going to add our endings. This is the same process for the regular, but they're different endings. You all that had me before know that we memorize these endings as AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. Can you still do it? For those of you who don't know me, stop looking at me like I'm crazy and just go ahead and learn it, because I promise you'll want to know those by heart. Okay? You can stop this video at any time. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and skip through the things that don't belong to us. And I want you to look at these 3 verbs again, instead of just pulling off just the ONS and leaving the stem. You've got here, it's completely conjugated out for all the subject pronouns. J'habite. Remember, habite is a contraction because habite, we don't hear that H. So j'habite, tu habitais, il habitait, elle habitait, nous habitions, vous habitiez, ils habitent, elles habitent. Okay. And then je finissais, tu finissais, il finissait, nous finissions, vous finissiez, il finissait. We never pronounce that the ENT, just the AI on the il and L pluriel. Also, I want you to notice on these IR verbs, we just took off the ONS. So the ending in the present was ISSONS, but all we took off was the ONS. Let's keep going. So this is going to give us this idea of I used to do something. If you can use in English I used to, then you're going to be using the imparfait. Okay. So again, we know AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT, right? We've memorized those and we know how to conjugate regular ER verbs. Okay. I used to love. These are just a set of verbs. Feel free to pause